yeah, I guess I didn't.
Hey everybody,
Back.
it's the Sleazegrinder show. Tonight, Lady Wrestler Davienne right there. Star wipe, Stace. Say star wipe. Is she star wipe?
Hooray!
I'm a no wolf, but it ain't my night to howl. I'm a big bad wolf, and I just been on the prowl. I went to see my baby, and she said to me, "You ain't the wolf that you used to be." I'm a no wolf, but it ain't my night to howl.
Listen, this is a very special episode of the Sleazegrinder Super Rock Power Hour because, of course, like I mentioned, we have a lady wrestler here. So we thought what we would do is, Stace, what's going on?
The screen is going wacky.
Okay, so you're not ready for the entrances.
I can't get the screen to do anything.
We'll do the entrances later.
Mine's more of a finishing move anyway.
Because Stacy didn't really pay attention to the. You're supposed to do it's supposed to be an entrance, not a
I've always been a
finish.
fan of finishing moves because I always fancy myself a winner.
Yeah.
So.
Both of you guys bring yourselves closer to the middle here
Yes,
so we can get a nice, beautiful shot of everybody on the air. Beautiful. This is the Sleazegrinder show. My name is Ken, but you might know me as the frankly legendary rock writer Sleazegrinder. And this, of course, is The Last Gang in Town, the TV edition. Of course, it's Chris Heavy Necker Cardone right there. It's my beautiful bride, Stacy Don, is our producer, and the Chachi to my fawns, Stacy DC is right there, and of course, right there is professional wrestler Davienne, which we're very excited. By the way, she drove 2 hours to get here.
Are you kidding me? From where?
North Brookfield.
I wouldn't know where that is because I don't know anywhere to
No, nobody does.
She is hot on the heels of her triumphant wrestling tour in Japan, of all places.
Oh, wow.
She wrestled half of Japan in the space of a couple of weeks out there.
Half of Japan.
Half of Japan, probably.
That's insane.
Yeah. Just like wrestling people in the street everywhere. It was far out.
Is there consent that has to go with that?
So they love it.
There's a lot of consent going on.
If you went down into the streets of Tokyo right now, Chris, and just started tackling people, they would love it, right?
Yeah, they would.
Do they give work visas for just like tackling people?
Yes, they do.
Well, I guess they've been attacked by Godzilla so many times they don't mind like somebody their own size.
Right. So here's what happened, everybody. A couple of weeks ago, I went to an all-female wrestling show in Beverly, Mass. And it was the most fun I had in forever. And during the intermission, the promoter, was it Johnny? Was that the guy's name, Johnny?
The promoter is Sheldon Goldberg.
Not that guy, but the other guy.
Yeah, he helps out.
What's his name?
Bill.
Bill?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm bad with names.
Sheldon Goldberg sounds way more legit anyway.
Sheldon Goldberg
that guy is definitely legit.
He's the promoter and the owner of NECW.
Yeah. Because that was the guy when I was like, hey, Stabitha wants to get into real wrestling. She's like, you've got to talk to Sheldon. So we talked to Sheldon.
Wow.
So during the intermission, this guy, whatever the guy's name was, Johnny or Bill, he goes, I got somebody I need you to meet. And I go, all right, because I like meeting people, Chris, as you know.
Yep.
And so he introduces me to Davienne, and he says, she just got back from wrestling in Japan.
Wow.
And I was like, well, that's pretty far out. And now here we are. And this was either before or after you thoroughly trounced the Portuguese princess, or she trounced you. I forget which way it went.
Well, the first ruling was a time limit draw.
Time limit draw.
And then we went into the sudden death. 5 more minutes.
Right.
And
then everybody was yelling, 5 more minutes.
Yes. The referee raised my hand. He thought I pinned her. But a second referee came out and said, no, she pinned me.
Yeah.
So
how is that debatable?
Yeah, it's really,
pretty clear.
The exact finish of the match was a draw.
How do you feel about that? That's got to stick in your craw.
It did. I mean, Ariel hadn't wrestled in 5 years.
Right.
She's somebody who I really look up to. So it was really awesome just to be able to wrestle her.
Yeah.
And so now I think we need to have a rematch.
Yeah, I think so.
Was it tough?
What really happened though?
Well,
do you know in your heart of hearts that you
in my heart of hearts, I don't know.
Okay.
There was no good camera angle
Yeah.
to show the move that happened was a small package. So she tried to get me up for a suplex, and I reversed it into a small package, and then we rolled.
You don't want to win with a small package anyway.
Right. You want a big package.
Rematch, you're gonna get a big package.
So we rolled.
There was a lot of roll. There was
And
more
yeah,
rolling.
there was a
in
lot
this.
of rolling.
I've never seen so much rolling.
There's a lot of rolling.
I mean,
And
what
when,
do you think happened?
Oh, I think she won clearly.
Yeah.
Was it
So-
difficult to flex against your hero?
Yeah, that's got to be tough.
I mean, jeez.
I mean, it was really just an honor, like
It was an honor.
to be able to be in the same ring with her, for her to come out of retirement, and I got to wrestle her in one of her first matches back, and
Wow.
and she told me she was really nervous wrestling me because I was like the new big name in New England, and I was like, oh, jeez, like making me nervous. So it was really cool to get to work with her. She's a really, really talented woman. So
When you go into that situation, I mean, you just name dropped a ton of moves, and they all sounded equally bad. There's got to be some kind of move that's your favorite. I mean, I'd imagine everybody in that situation would have one. But when you got in the ring with this person being your hero, were you like, oh man, like there's no way I'm gonna pull that off on her, or was there like a move that you really wanted to get out?
well, there was I hit my finisher on her.
Oh
It's the
damn.
guillotine leg drop.
The guillotine leg drop.
The referee counted 1, 2, and then the bell rang at the time limit. So I was 1 second away from beating her
With a guillotine.
with my
leg drop.
guillotine leg drop, and I think
How scary does
I
that
hope
sound?
that looks as bad as it sounds.
Guillotine leg
Sounds,
drop.
you know, real
so.
painful.
I mean, going
Is it
into
French?
You better believe it.
it could be going into any match. I don't think I'm going to lose. I mean, I can't. If I think I'm gonna lose, like, what's the point, you know?
Exactly.
What did I say that? I
No.
didn't say that.
No. It's
okay.
just like that's my mindset. I'm like,
Right,
even
right,
if I'm facing somebody I'm friends with or somebody I look up to, I want to beat them.
Yeah.
You know, if it's somebody I look
Yeah,
up to, I want to
You
be
don't start hiking a mountain unless your eyes on the summit.
right. I wanna be better than who I look up to. So,
So how did you decide that this was your calling, wrestling?
I started watching with my brother when
Yeah.
I was 11 and he was 9, and we just fell in love with all of it. You know,
Yeah.
the wrestling, the production, the stories, everything. Like
Right.
we were obsessed. Like every time we went to the store, came home with a wrestling figure. Like we used to tie our old karate belts around a room to make ropes to throw each other off of. It was ridiculous.
And their parents were like, oh shit.
Yeah, my parents were like, okay, nobody die, thank you. Oh, I can't even tell you how many like blow up mattresses were destroyed from wrestling with my neighbor and my brother. Like,
That's a good way to practice.
yeah,
Blow up mattresses.
blow up
Those
mattresses.
aren't cheap.
You should get a few of those.
yeah.
For here.
Definitely.
We popped a lot
Throw
of
each other
them.
around a little bit.
Definitely can.
So, but don't try it at home. It's like honestly,
You're gonna bust it right away.
Oh, I'm
Like-
doing it at home all the time.
like I wish so I could explain to people how much pro wrestling hurts.
Yeah, right.
Like it hurts a lot. Like
So
my
lots of broken things or no?
yeah, my back hurts me right now.
Oh.
Like sitting here right now, my
Chronic.
chronic. Yeah.
Chronic
yeah.
pain.
I'm 21.
Oh,
There's that
Yeah.
scientist who theorizes we're all aliens to this planet, and that's why everybody has back pain, because we weren't even originally intended to be in this type of atmosphere.
Oh, it's the atmosphere that's
Yeah.
messing us up.
It's the atmosphere. It's the level of gravity that's on this planet. It's a theory that we are all aliens and migrated here.
That
in
is a
ancient
theory.
times.
Sure is. Anyway, prescription addiction in your future.
Yeah,
Sorry, sorry to
probably,
hear that.
but no.
Also, what's the last actual physical altercation that you've gotten into?
So not
Like
Non-wrestling.
non-wrestling?
Non-wrestling physical
Oh God.
altercation. Like maybe a little pushing, a little shoving, maybe a little fists flying here.
You know,
and there.
Ken, I'm going to stop you right there.
Bar fights.
I'd
what?
like to think that, like, somebody who gets in the ring, and you also said you were a martial artist as a child, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
I'd like to think that the people that study that and the people that are in that, they have so much respect for their craft that at all points they would try to avoid a fight outside of the ring.
Sure, I understand.
Because that is a respect thing.
But sometimes, you get into situations.
Well, in situations, you can find other alternatives. Well, let her ask.
Can we just let her answer the question?
Yeah. Maybe when I was like 10,
10.
me and my brother got in a fist
got
fight.
into a fist
yeah.
fight.
Oh man. like guillotine?
No, he's brutal. It'll start off being like play fighting.
Yeah.
But if you accidentally hit him hard for real, he turns into like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he likes to do like the grabbing like the root of the hair.
Oh no.
And then he punches you in the head, and I was like, nope, I'm done. Like,
Sounds like a
dirty.
vicious young
So
man.
so you
Yes.
finished him like quickly.
no.
Oh, you just quit.
Now he's terrified.
It was a forfeit.
Now he's terrified of me.
Of course,
yeah,
you should
of
be.
course, yeah. So that was before I was trained, you know.
Do you ever wrestle for foreplay?
Yeah, that's one of Stacy's favorite things.
That
She likes
really
she
gets
loves
me
to
turned
sex
on. I
wrestle.
don't know.
Yes.
Or just after.
Oh, hey, she's
No,
a sex
yes,
wrestler too.
yes.
Look at-
I mean,
Man, I
You
bet
got it,
Stacey would love a good
finally
guillotine
someone
leg
who
drop.
Sure.
yeah.
I really would.
You really would.
Yeah.
Physical altercation. Have you had one any recently?
I guess the short answer is no.
Okay.
No.
But what is there a longer answer that may? Involved
Like
some-
2 months ago, there was this guy. I was going around doing like some freelancing, like interviewing, because I had a blog I was kind of doing for a
Yeah,
bit.
right,
I showed you that. And I was trying to interview this band at a show, and there was this drunk guy who kept on like butting in and just making it impossible.
Yeah.
So I was just like, dude, you're making it really difficult for me to do this
Right.
right now. Like, can you please go over there and then be like a goof like later when I don't,
Yeah.
need like to hear these people? And he grabbed my hand like really hard and was like squeezing it. So I grabbed his shirt and like pulled him down to me, and I've told him to let me go, and that's as far as it went.
Oh, so you took care of it.
Yeah.
You de-escalated the situation.
Well, yeah, because to me, I saw like I don't bring it to a level of violence that isn't equal to the violence that's being brought to me.
Right. I haven't gotten into a fight probably since 4th grade, but I almost got into a fight twice this year, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I was there one of the times.
You were there for one of them, right?
Yeah, I felt protected because you took the guy and
I took him out of the situation.
Yeah. But
And
I
then-
still thought he was going to knock you in the
Yeah, I
back.
thought so too. And then the funny thing was, when I was dealing with this guy, drunk guy, I was like, I don't know, if he hits me, I don't know what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do when somebody hits you?
I was thinking the same thing. Like, should I walk away so he doesn't feel embarrassed?
Right. Yeah, because I don't know how this is going to turn out. But it was fine. It worked out. And then the other time, me and Stacy went to see Veruca Salt, the band. Remember that, Stace?
Yes.
And the guy kept passing next to me and pushing me. And I was like, if you come back this way again, don't come this way. I said to him when he was walking by. And of course he came by the same way. So I shoved him as hard as I could, knocked him down. And then he tried to shake my hand, and I was so mad that I wouldn't shake his hand. But then I let it go. So that was the second
At
time.
concerts, it gets rough, man.
It does
Like,
get rough at concerts.
Maybe a couple years ago, the original Black Flag lineup, minus the guitar player Greg
Yeah.
Ginn, toured as Flag,
Yeah.
and I saw him at Paradise Rock Club. That was one of my favorite concerts ever.
Yeah.
But that was the first time at a show where somebody like assaulted me, not
Yeah.
prompted, and it was nuts. And like in the craziness of a Black Flag show,
Yeah.
or just a punk show, or just
Right.
any kind of show really that has loud stuff going on, it's like you got to be really careful in those situations to distinguish what is actually somebody trying to harm you or somebody just having a good time,
Right.
and being like, hey man, like you're in this scene, like be in it. Because like I've been that guy before.
Sure, punk rock is not like
Yeah,
wrestling.
it's
They're
tough.
very similar in a lot of ways.
It is very similar in a lot of ways.
By the way, Davienne, you're just you when you're wrestling. You're not some character.
No.
Have you ever thought about becoming a
like
character,
that.
or you always decided to just be you?
I always decided to be me, but just the volume turned up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think people who do characters are like really incredible,
Yeah.
but I think you can kind of pigeonhole yourself a little bit if
Right.
you do a character.
Then you're stuck being the character.
You're stuck being a character.
Once
Like-
you're the Snake Queen,
right.
it's hard to not be the Snake Queen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're like Fandango in WWE. He was a ballroom dancer, and then it's like, how do you evolve
That's a
from
good one.
that? So I kind of just like to be me, just like the volume
Yeah.
turned up a little bit, and
Yeah.
I can change my personality depending on the promotion I'm working for.
I like the barroom dancer though. That's a good one.
Do you though for
Yeah.
for wrestling?
For wrestling,
or?
sure. Because it's a curveball. It's a curveball. You don't see that coming. By the way, Snake Queen. What's a Snake Queen like when not on the wrestling mat?
She slithers and slides just like all the snakes that she's a queen
I'm not
of.
exactly sure.
She's also
She-
not in character.
Does she drag that giant snake around with her everywhere?
Yeah.
Was that thing
And I try to
backstage?
avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was disgusting.
It's pretty
I was
cool,
like, get it away from
Yeah,
me.
it is. It's gross,
It's
right?
gross.
Yeah.
I don't like snakes.
I really don't
like them.
understand how much of wrestling is actually choreographed.
This is a good,
So,
this is
like-
a hard one to answer because you wanna
To protect.
Yeah.
keep the magic
Because you don't
alive.
want to actually kill
But you
somebody,
wanna
but
be
you
truthful.
can't, like, most of it, because you don't have time to practice with every. I don't understand
Right.
how it works.
Yeah, you don't
No,
have-
no, there's no
Like a bunch of the, like at the show that we were at, I mean, there were girls from a bunch of different places
Right.
that just came for the show.
Right.
So it's not like you guys were all in a room together working it all out,
no,
right?
no. Even in Japan, I was just meeting those girls that very first day.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I show up at a show and I've never even met the person I'm wrestling. So, I mean, especially in Japan, the language barrier is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
they would be like, okay, what do you do for moves? And I would tell them, and they'd be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So I think, like, by now everybody knows, like, I hate saying the F word, wrestling is fake. It's
Yeah.
not fake. Like,
Yeah.
we have a fixed ending.
Yeah.
Like, the ending is fixed. So,
So it's a rock and roll show.
It's-
Same thing, man, right?
yeah.
Right? You gotta.
I don't know, man. I mean, it doesn't always go as planned.
It doesn't always go as planned, but you have a plan.
Right.
We're gonna start here and we're gonna end here. Something else might happen.
Audibles can be called in between.
Exactly.
In a rock show.
Different things might happen in the middle, but you know that's the basic thing.
Right.
I see
It's
your
the
point,
same
Ken. I'll
thing.
give you that. Yes.
Yep,
Okay,
it's the
thank
same thing. So yeah, a lot of the people the first time I met Ariel was that very day.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
And you're like, I'm sorry, but I must
yeah.
destroy you.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
so-
I'm just
from-
gonna work around the snake. How do you?
So from
Well,
A
she
to
didn't
B.
have to wrestle the snake. She was
No,
just around the snake.
So,
Oh, yeah,
so
okay.
from point A to point B, like beginning of the match, end of the match, it's more of like, you know what's gonna happen, so it's like an exchange of energy back and forth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kinda.
But I mean, like some people work lighter than others.
Uh-huh.
Like my strikes are pretty hard. I'm more of like a stronger style. I don't do like flips or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people do those flips.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
No, I don't know.
She's doing a lot of this. Like she'd have
Yeah, like a
Ariel's
test.
fingers,
Yeah,
and
test
she'd
of
like-
strength.
And then she would do that, which I think is actually more exciting than the arm wrestling. I think we should incorporate that.
Yeah.
We usually make Stacy
Oh, I have
arm
the
wrestle.
longest arms. I could do whatever.
Yeah, we usually make her arm wrestle the guests at the. I mean, I don't think it'd be.
I definitely
I
want it to
don't-
happen. I want it to happen today. Can we do it?
Or if Davienne wants to.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
mean,
I just
that's
wanna watch
fine.
me
Yeah.
suffer.
All right,
What are you
all right.
talking about?
So we're gonna stop 5 minutes before the.
You don't
end of
go into the
thing,
ring
just so we
thinking
can
you're gonna
get into
lose,
this.
Stacy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm in
that's
your
the
corner,
problem.
man.
I mean, I'm coming off of a big one. So.
What is so? What is the average wrestling fan like? I gotta tell you, before you answer, it's like I had no idea this was even going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw this ad on Facebook, so we went down there. Turns out there's a whole like subculture
following?
happening on.
Any
Like
stalkers?
yeah, do they get weird?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, they're like very, very passionate.
Yeah,
In each show,
yeah.
like if it's all like kind of in the same area, they will go to like every independent show. That's kind of and it's, like New England is full of indie wrestling.
I wouldn't call that stalker though.
No, it's not really stalking. It's like just very, very like passionate. I guess like
Yeah.
this is what they do on their
It's a
weekends.
following, right?
Like some people like will go to a concert or go to a movie or
Right.
something, like they go to wrestling
Well, I mean, when I
shows.
hear the stalker, I think
Yeah.
like you're going
Oh,
to your
yeah.
car after
No,
the show,
no,
and
no,
this
no,
guy's
no.
like
Yeah.
like walking behind you.
No, nothing like that. Thank God. Like knock on wood.
Yeah.
'Cause we don't need that. But no, like they're just like super, super passionate.
Yeah.
They love the promotions they go to. And they love who they love and they hate who they hate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have a really great fan base in New England and all over the place. So,
Do you like the part like in the middle, like the intermission part? where you
I
kinda-
enjoy intermission where I
Yeah.
can kind of like the little kids is my favorite part.
Yeah.
When like the little girls run up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, we love you, we look up to you," like that like warms my heart. I
Yeah.
love that's the best part for me.
And you're like, and you're like signing pictures
Yep.
and stuff, right?
Yeah, I sell pictures at intermission.
Yeah.
So that's nice. You can make a little extra money.
Yeah.
When are we gonna be
it's like
signing photos?
I know,
I've
right?
yet to sign a photo.
We'll get you some photos. How much do you sell your photos for?
$5.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Personalize them to Ken.
Yep.
Thanks, Davienne.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It was like, so that was happening, but I hadn't having not gone to one of these shows before. I didn't really have any idea what was happening because they just sort of came out, and then they were just they were standing there, and then it turns out everybody had, their own. So, are you encouraged to just kind of mix it up with everybody, like, you know, when you go out there? Or
Yeah. Like, you just kind of, like, find a little spot and
Yeah.
see who, you know, everybody intermingles and everything. So
I
it's
like it,
nice.
man. It was super fun. Get a slice of pizza, get a Market Basket cola.
Yeah, dollar pizza,
Yeah,
dollar
that
soda.
was good stuff, man.
So how was her entrance?
I forget, what is your theme, your entrance? So Stacy, this
What
is
is
not
your
working
song?
today?
The
My-
monitor is not.
Look at
on
it,
the
it's going berserk.
blankets. It's insane.
Oh, really? So no
Yeah.
Can we just
entrances?
shut it down?
I can't get it to do anything.
That's too bad. We'll do
Yeah.
entrances next week. It's fine.
Yeah.
Are
What is
you
your-
kidding me? I was in the bathroom at the bar practicing mine.
Well, you'll be twice as good next week.
Okay.
What is your entrance
My entrance
theme?
music is Can't Be Tamed by Miley Cyrus.
There you go. Can't be. Do you know that one? As a
I do
millennial,
not know.
a fellow
I
millennial.
know. I'm sorry.
You hip to that one? No. Okay. Do we want to say what our entrance themes are, or we want to keep them?
Let's keep them under
We're gonna
wraps.
keep them under
If
wraps.
you don't do
come
it
out.
next week, I'm quitting the show.
Okay, we'll do it next
All right,
week.
whoa.
But
I have no control over what's
Do you know?
happening.
I was consulting with Stacy about whether I could throw Cheez-Its on my face.
yeah, I know. And then it was a bad idea. We'd have cheese all over the studio. Come on. Like
You
that
see
wouldn't
the
be allowed,
signs, there's
right?
no food.
Like if somebody wanted to come out and throw cheese.
Yeah. What are the entrance rules?
Yeah, we can't have people throwing cheese.
Some people like to throw water,
Yeah.
but it's kind of banned because people slip
Yeah.
and it gets
That was my point.
it gets pretty
Yeah.
ugly. So
Do you hate any of those wrestlers? Do you like? Oh, I hate them so much. You don't have to say who they are. I'm just wondering if there's any of them that you really dislike.
Any phonies?
Yeah, any phonies?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like I pretty much get along with everybody.
Well, I mean, come on, man. She's the champion. Of
She is the
Yeah.
champion.
Why, how's
so
she gonna hate anybody? Everybody
Right.
hates her, theoretically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the most hated. Sorry.
Probably.
how far to the top of the heap are you? Like here's the bottom of the heap and here's the top. Where are you in this?
I would put myself in like the top 3 women's
Ooh.
wrestlers in
Wow.
England.
Holy
I would
smokes.
say myself, Mistress Belmont, and Alexis are like the top 3.
Alexis was the blonde one that was there, right?
Yep. Mhm.
And then Mistress Belmont was the sort of gothy, death rocky
Yes.
chick.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you're the top 3.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's what
far
I would
out.
say.
So you guys, do you wrestle for a championship? Is there a championship belt of some kind?
Each promotion has a separate championship. So like
Oh my
Mistress,
God, so how
Mistress
many-
Belmont had
yeah.
the Triple W women's championship, which I beat her for before.
Oh wow.
That was my very first title win. I was the former Triple W women's champion. And I actually have a title match this coming Friday in Woburn for
Wow.
Chaotic Wrestling. I'm wrestling Alexis for the Chaotic Wrestling Women's Championship. And I'm also the current Women's Champion for Lucky Pro Wrestling. So February 27th, I'll be wrestling Alexis and Clinton for my championship.
How do you train for those types of matches?
You just go outside and you kick ass, man.
Oh,
it.
you like go,
You
you like
gotta
move
trust
to a
me.
cabin in like the Arctic and just run up and down the road.
Yeah, you just get out
Yeah.
there and you pick up big rocks and then you put them
Like
back
logs
down.
and stuff, yeah.
I have been training at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy for the past 3 years. So I was training for 8 months before I had my first match. And that's out in North Andover. So Brian Fury is the head trainer there, and he's incredible.
So is it more like agility drills or is it like weightlifting?
No. The school has 2 rings.
Yeah.
So everybody starts off in the beginner ring, where you learn all the basics.
Yeah.
At the beginning of every class, we do about an hour and a half of blow-ups, which is basically just straight cardio drills. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks
Like
so
ladders
much.
and stuff like that.
So we start with, we hit the ropes 10 times and we slide out. We're all in a line.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a drill called 5s, which is 5 whips and then you reverse and you whip 5 more times. Then you do a drop down,
pretty good.
which is like you lay on your stomach and then you stand back up and you jump up and the person runs under you, which is called a drop down leapfrog. You do that 5 times and then you switch. And then you do 5 up and overs, which is like you'll be running into the turnbuckle and you put your hands on the top rope and you launch yourself up so the person can run under you. And do that 5 times, then you switch.
Nice. There you go.
Do you think the choreography part translates well to like dancing? Could you dance?
Oh yeah, it's just like dancing. It's
So
exactly.
are you a pretty good dancer?
how's your dancing?
I have done dance in the past. I
Yeah.
did hip hop, tap, swing, one ballroom
I'll
class.
never be a
So
Yeah, with that Bernie move you got going on.
Forget the break.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. So let's quick before we'll wrestle in the last minute. Plugs. Davienne, when's your next wrestling matches that we can catch?
Friday night, Woburn, Massachusetts for Chaotic Wrestling. Doors open at 7. Live wrestling at 8 p.m.
Beautiful. Heavy Necker, you got any shows coming up?
January 19th in Portland, Maine with Sunrunner.
Beautiful. Well, Stacy DC and Davienne are going to arm wrestle right now to close the show. As they prepare, and you can go over there, Chris, and put the hand on top and then let it go. Okay.
Where are we doing it?
Right there, right?
I'm a
Right there?
lefty, so
Right
this
those
works
two
for
are.
me. Does
Okay.
this
We only
work
have
for
2
you?
minutes, so
Sure.
we're going to do this quickly.
Okay.
Next week, by the way, before you guys start, pretty exciting stuff. Next week, we switch to our new time slot. Mondays, 5:30 to 6:30. Full hour of Sleaze TV every Monday. Next week, Bud Cracker, producer Magivana coming. Everybody, it's time for yet another Stacy arm wrestles the guest. It's Stacy DC versus lady wrestling superstar Davienne. Here we go. And we're on.
Oh, the rolling
It's a
chair.
rolling
Not
chair.
good.
That's an extra. Ooh.
Oh my
Looks
god,
like-
I'm rolling the opposite direction.
It looks like Stacy DC is taking the
They're rolling.
lead on this one. Oh my God! It looks like Stacy DC might be taking the champion down.
No.
This
no,
is-
No, just hold it. Just hold it.
Oh,
She's losing her
oh,
grip. She's losing her grip.
Oh!
Yes.
Oh no!
Yes. Keep going. Keep going.
I'm not a lefty.
Oh my God! This is a
rolling.
really
Oh man. Oh man.
we.
Oh man.
Oh my god, it's gonna be another draw.
Oh, it's so close. 45 seconds left in the show.
45
Somebody's got to win this thing
Really gotta
quickly.
focus.
It's so even right now. It's hard to say, but it looks like Stacy DC is. Oh my! It looks like. Oh my God! It looks like Stacy DC maybe.
All right, she's definitely out of form. I'm gonna call maybe a disqualification. At
This might end up being a
You're
draw.
out of form.
This might end up being a draw. I know.
I know. This table isn't working very well.
No, we
Do we
have,
always have rolly chairs?
Guys, we have 28 seconds.
who's gonna win this thing? This might still be happening when you come back next week, everybody.
No, we have 10 seconds left.
10 seconds. We're gonna call it a draw. It's a draw, everybody. The blood feud continues next time on the Sleazegrinder Show.